I used to wear these pieces every fall. I thought they were timeless. I thought they worked. But this year, they're quietly aging me. And I see it in other women too. Today, I'm breaking down the fall trends that are making us look stuck in the past, and what I'm wearing instead that instantly looks more current. I style real women over 50, and I've seen firsthand which swaps make the biggest difference. Stay with me until the end because there's one look I was so sure I'd never wear again, but the way I styled it changed everything. Let's start with something I think a lot of us have hanging in our closets: the bulky blanket scarf. I remember when they first became a thing, everyone had one wrapped, twisted, and practically swallowed around their neck. They looked cute in photos, I'll admit that. But in real life, they're heavy. They overwhelm the body. And let's be honest, they kind of hide everything flattering about our shape, especially around the neckline. For those of us over 50, where elegance is more about refinement than excess, these scarves just feel tired. What I've noticed is that they break the line of an outfit in all the wrong ways. Instead of elongating or enhancing, they add this massive bulk up top that throws off your proportions. And no matter how nicely you do your makeup or how beautiful your coat is, that scarf ends up being all anyone sees. It becomes an outfit, not an accessory. Not to mention, they often slide off your shoulder or bunch awkwardly under structured outerwear. Not ideal when you're trying to look put together and stay warm. This fall, I'm swapping mine out for sleeker alternatives. Think soft wool wraps with a lean, draped shape, or a cashmere scarf that can lie flat across your coat or tuck neatly inside the collar. And if you want to elevate a look without adding warmth, neck-grazing silk scarves are a beautiful option. They frame your face, add a subtle pop of color or pattern, and don't weigh you down. I've been tying mine loosely like a French twist or threading them under a blouse collar for that effortless feel. Now, let's talk about another classic fall element that's starting to feel a bit overplayed: plaid. And don't get me wrong, I love a good heritage print. But those bold, high-contrast plaid coats or flannel shackets we all fell for a few seasons ago, they're starting to feel a little too loud, too expected. Like we're playing a character in a fall movie rather than dressing for real life. You know what I mean? It's become a fall formula, and one that doesn't flatter everyone, especially as we get older. The issue isn't the pattern itself, it's the scale and saturation. Large-scale checks in loud reds, yellows, or blues can easily overpower the face and clash with other pieces. And don't get me started on overly brushed flannel. It can look a bit worn out after just a few washes, and it doesn't layer well under sleeker outerwear. These pieces have a way of turning your outfit into something bulky and overly casual, which isn't the look many of us are going for anymore. This year, I'm gravitating toward tonal tweeds, luxe textures, and neutral patterns that feel rich without screaming for attention. Picture a warm charcoal houndstooth or a sand-colored boucle. It gives you all the autumn charm, but with elegance and polish. The same goes for rich, tactile fabrics like boiled wool, faux suede, or structured felt. They add interest through texture, not through bold graphics. I recently wore a tobacco-toned wool jacket in a subtle diamond weave, and I had 3 women stop me to ask where I got it. It just looked expensive, even though it wasn't. So if your closet is filled with those bold plaids from a few years ago, maybe it's time for a refresh. You don't have to ditch the pattern altogether. Just look for softer contrast, earthy tones, and fabrics that add depth. And if you're not sure where to start, I've added links to some beautifully updated pieces in the description box below. These are the kinds of pieces that don't just look good this year, they'll still feel relevant next fall too. Now let's shift to something a lot of us rely on year-round: denim. But specifically, the kind that's seen better days. I'm talking about overly distressed jeans. You know the ones: faded knees, random holes, shredded hems. They were fun a decade ago, especially when we wanted that laid-back, lived-in look. But by 2025, they're starting to feel a little tired. On women over 50, those details don't always read as stylish. They can come off as trying too hard or even sloppy, which isn't what we're going for anymore. And let me be honest, I held on to a pair of distressed jeans for far too long because they were comfortable. But every time I wore them, I felt underdressed, like my outfit was fighting against itself. The tears and frays pulled focus from everything else I was wearing, and instead of looking modern, I just looked messy. Especially in fall, when we're layering with jackets and boots, that kind of denim can really throw off an otherwise chic outfit. What I've been loving instead are clean, structured jeans in dark washes, deep indigo, soft black, even espresso brown. The fabric has a little more stiffness, which helps hold shape and gives the body a much more flattering silhouette. A high-rise straight leg or a gentle wide leg cut looks great with tucked-in sweaters and ankle boots. You still get that casual feel, but it looks intentional, crisp, elevated, and effortless. I've even started wearing denim with raw hems or just a slight kick crop, and it feels fresh without looking torn up. If you're still hanging on to distressed jeans from years ago, this might be the season to swap them out. I've found a few brands that offer fantastic structured denim with clean lines and minimal hardware. They fit beautifully and go with just about anything in a fall wardrobe. Check the description box. I've linked my go-to pairs down there so you can try them out yourself. All right, next up, and this one might surprise you, let's talk about infinity scarves. They were everywhere for years. Loop it around once, fluff it up, and go. It was easy. But now, they feel more like a shortcut than a statement. Especially when made in thin jersey or busy patterns. They tend to sit awkwardly at the neck, flatten your chest, and visually cut your outfit in half. And for women over 50, that shape doesn't always flatter the neckline or frame the face the way it used to. The truth is, infinity scarves often cover the most interesting part of an outfit, your neckline. I've found they compete with collars, they bunch under coats, and they add zero structure. What's feeling fresher in 2025 is a return to detail at the neckline without adding volume. Think pointed collars on a crisp button-down peeking out from a fine knit sweater, or a soft turtleneck layered under a structured blazer. It's about adding dimension through shape and layering, not bulk. Even detachable collars are making a quiet comeback, and I resisted at first. But when you find one in a pleated or embroidered cotton, and pair it with a fine crew neck sweater, it suddenly elevates the whole look. These updated touches draw the eye up toward the face and help elongate the neckline. Two things that flatter everyone. But now I want to hear from you. Are you still wearing infinity scarves? Or have you already made the switch to more structured layering? Let me know in the comments. I love seeing how you all interpret these trends in your own way. And your ideas always inspire me, and each other. Let's move into outerwear for a moment, specifically slouchy, oversized cardigans. You know the ones I mean, the long, shapeless knits that kind of puddle around the knees and seem to stretch a little more every time you wear them. I used to think they were my best friend during chilly fall mornings. They felt cozy and safe. But here's the thing I finally realized. They weren't doing anything for me. In fact, they were dragging my outfits down. As we get older, it becomes even more important to bring back structure. A lot of those oversized knits, especially the ones without shape or design intention, tend to hide the waist, slump the shoulders, and shorten the legs. And while they might feel soft and forgiving, they actually make us look more weighed down and, dare I say, a little forgotten inside the outfit. There's nothing wrong with comfort, but comfort can still have a silhouette. That's why I've shifted to coats and jackets with structure, a tailored coat with clean lines, a belted waist, or even a short wool jacket that hits just at the hip gives your body a frame. I've been loving structured short coats in fall neutrals, think deep camel, slate gray, olive green. Paired with slim trousers or straight-leg denim, they pull everything together. Even a crisp pea coat or a cropped trench adds shape where you need it and makes layering so much easier. And speaking of letting go, there's one look I gave up on years ago. I never thought I'd go back to it. I honestly thought it belonged to another version of me. But this fall, I gave it a second chance, and the way I styled it completely changed my mind. Okay, confession time. The one look I swore I'd never wear again? Corduroy pants. I know, I can feel some of you cringing already. I associated them with stiff fabrics, unflattering fits, and memories of grade school outfits I couldn't wait to grow out of. For years, I completely avoided them. But this fall, something shifted. I saw a pair in this rich espresso brown, straight leg, high-rise, soft microcord texture, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just try them on. And honestly, I was shocked. The fit was everything. No bagginess in the thighs, no exaggerated ribbing, just a gentle structure that felt warm and luxurious. I paired them with a tucked-in ivory silk blouse, a structured camel jacket, and ankle boots. And suddenly, I didn't feel like I was wearing old-school corduroy. I felt like I was wearing a fall fashion moment. The texture played so well with everything else in my wardrobe: wool coats, leather belts, soft knits. It made my outfit look intentional, not nostalgic. The key, I realized, is to look for updated corduroy. No flares, no wide wail, no saggy backs. Look for microcord textures, clean hems, and rich, deep colors. Charcoal, navy, oxblood, espresso. They're elegant and wearable. Now I find myself reaching for these pants again and again because they add dimension and comfort. And let's be honest, we love a look that feels fresh and cozy. So yes, I swore off corduroy. But the way I styled it this time, it completely changed how I feel about it. If you've avoided it like I did, maybe this season is the one where you try it again, with fresh eyes. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next one. I'm sharing the top 10 must-try fall fashion trends in 2025. But these aren't just runway trends. These are real-life, wearable updates that will breathe new life into your wardrobe without making you feel like you're chasing youth. If you want more inspiration on what's in this season and how to actually wear it at our age, you won't want to miss it.